song is chilled. The cure is pursued. Several cures every town. So secondary border.
Well, what was that like 2-band album that was super popular? Not at this time, but
2-band.
it was like a super popular rock band that then worked with like a more of like a hip hop guy.
Oh, Black Keys,
No, it was earlier than that.
Jay-Z, and Linkin Park.
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah, I think
That's what you're
so.
talking about?
I think
Jay-Z
so.
and Linkin Park? That's what it reminds you of? Yeah, I know what you're saying because it has the screeching guitar.
Yeah, and just like the deep bass, like the deep bass sounds that are kind of like the dance deep bass
Yeah.
that's driving it forward. Yeah, that
I remember
numb,
my
that
brother used
numb
to love that
encore.
one.
Yeah. That's
That
exactly what
album.
I'm thinking of.
Well, he was like, I already like Linkin Park, and I like Jay-Z separately, but now they have combined forces, and now it's totally now it's a super group. Now it's but the thing is, they didn't. I think what they did together was, I think it was just a mashup album, maybe,
Yeah,
and then they
exactly.
made like a music video together, just to be like, oh, we're cashing in on this. You better
Exactly.
fucking believe we're cashing in.
People like this.
Oh
Great.
yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah, it's like one producer in like Rockefeller Records or whatever was like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm just gonna make this," and then they're like, "Oh no, people love this. People love this."
People did love
Yeah,
it.
no, people did love it, and it was literally just the same song. It was literally a mashup. They didn't create anything, very very
No.
innovative or new. But yeah, I do kind of get that vibe. But then also to lead off a second side, which I think is the way you got to listen to it, like Mark said. I mean, did you think that like listening to Mark's description of his concept, having a straightforward side to side A? I mean, side A was pretty straightforward, but that Shake Off song, why wouldn't you put that at the end to like transition you into this?
Into that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or save the shake off for this side, right?
Or see, I would, yeah. I don't know where we're going.
No, exactly. No, neither do I.
Yeah.
I do know. So Jung Nev is in reference to the co-writer and new guitarist Neville Wilding. So Jung Nev is Neville.
So it's young Nev's anecdotes.
Yeah, and then
that's kind of the play on it.
Yeah, I guess anecdotes and anecdotes in B sharp is
which is the 8th track.
The same song with many of the same lyrics, different music.
Oh, don't spoil it! Don't spoil it! Don't spoil it! You're going too far.
Okay, the way back machine has got me.
Okay. We just need the context of it before it start. But this is kind of wild. I like it. The screeching guitars, the big, huge drums that are compressed and kind of electronic sounding. He's saying, and those who vote where chewing gum is chewed, the chewer is pursued. 70s every time. So second rate about it. I mean, of course, he's going to throw in some second rate. He's going to throw in something that like puts it down, the 70s especially. But that's kind of an interesting little, it's not giving you a lot, but it's giving you enough to, with that sound base foundation where you're like, huh, the voting and the chewing gum is like kind of like, airhead dummies are doing this. And then he like is later referencing if liberty is the sports teaching cook or crook, I can't really tell what he's saying. The sports teacher's anecdotes.
Yeah, annotated says the liberty is screwed, the sports teacher included.
So it's kind of a government takedown, but then also a takedown of maybe once again the hippies. He's talking about the 70s. They're chewing bubble gum, maybe not really thinking about the real
So the answer says
realities.
so secondary modern. So secondary modern.
Oh,
Um,
I like that. I like so secondary modern. So
and so
secondary.
secondary modern is public school in Britain.
Oh,
It
it's just public school.
is a public school. Yeah. It's called public school in
Oh,
Britain is what is called a private school in America.
oh, so secondary modern. Oh, I kind of want it to be, um,
Second rate.
yes,
You like second rate about it?
yeah, almost like a critique of the secondary modern is almost like, like when you think about modern art, you know, trying to be cutting edge or something, or like thought in inducing um of the time, and to have it secondary modern, it's almost like it's a one kind of lane over that's not considered however you want to take it. I like it more than just what a fucking your education level. That's kind of, I don't know, that's too easy.
Yeah. So
That's the thing that I'm getting off of it. I mean, it's kind of
yeah.
better.
So this says so yeah, a secondary modern is a public school in Britain. A public school in is a public school in Britain. A public school in Britain is what is called a private school in America. Public
Okay,
school,
that's okay. I don't care. I mean,
yeah.
I don't
uh,
care. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. The public schools were not originally non-fee paying schools for poor kids, but then the lure of cash proved it too much to resist and edged the poor kids out. But the public moniker remains.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that's not doing it for me. That's not
Yeah.
doing it for me. That's not really tickling the artistic itch for in my brain. I'm just gonna pretend that it's something else.
There you go.
Okay. Let's get into the next track on the side that Marquis Smith says is the side that opens up. So let's get into Inevitable.
Like everybody you see it. Like everybody you see. The world, this world, the from a proms. Hello to Dan and Saturday again, very logical. You can't just then pretend to be many. Say goodbye to your
I kind of take this as the sister song to the leadoff track, Touch Sensitive, where it's kind of like that, like an outro to that track. It's kind of got like an upbeat groove, but there's not much going on for me, at least.
I did appreciate the strings in the middle there for a second,
Mm,
which was surprising. But yeah, I don't know. I
I
hope
think
that
yeah.
I hope that this song wasn't inevitable for them.
The thing I appreciated the most was actually the bass riff, which I actually thought could have been a Steve Hanley-esque bass riff.
Yeah, it was a big.
Hmm.
Use the big strings.
Yeah, using the big strings. But the rest of it, I don't know. Like that, I'm just wondering, Mark, the concept is is skewed. I think he was just bad at following through with the concept. Like we were always talking about where's the concept album from Marquis Smith and the gang, because he's got so many kind of like reoccurring themes. Why couldn't he do an album that was all the same theme, but just with different stories? And it's really weird that he couldn't do that. He got close sometimes, like even like this nation saving grace. you could say is kind of conceptual, thematically. But this, he actually said, I wanted to make a concept album, but the concept was just 3 sides. Like,
Yeah.
that's as far as he got?
I mean, I think in the other albums, the problem was that they wanted to fill it up, so they added
Yeah.
tracks that didn't fit. And now
Okay, okay.
now he's shortening the list, but it still doesn't hit.
Yeah,
Like he's like,
you're
okay,
right.
we're not even gonna fill up the wax. Like I feel like all the other albums, like you can pluck a couple of songs out of there, and you're like, yeah, perfect. This is
Right,
one image,
right,
one sound, one purpose. And
right.
but they wanted to fill it up, so they did, which you can't complain about. But
Yeah.
and now you're doing something, but yet it's still kind of I it just goes to show that Mark what it wasn't the band
Yes.
you know
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it,
He needed that extra he needed the band to actually influence the direction, no matter how much he thought he was, like, in charge of what was going on. Yeah. The so the thing is, there was a concept too, supposedly, for this album, and the concept was, Mark said it it was very vague too, where he said, "I wanted to have, like, the a marshal, a person that was the marshal that was kinda leading you through the songs, leading you through the album." And so I think that's where the suite comes from, where it's like the 3 movements, the 3 sides, where it's going. But I kind of like it as something different personally, which is the Marshall in a suite, in a set of rooms, right? And the Marshall is moving around between the set of rooms, and kind of one of the rooms is just off the walls, like that Shake Off song in Jung Nev's Anecdotes. That those are kind of that's one room, which is just like fucking like bonkers, like you don't know what's going on, losing your head. One room is kind of like just a record player sitting in the corner, and it's just like Mark's favorite songs, like records, just like sitting there, and you can just sit there in there, and the marshal is sitting down there, leading you in and say, "Okay, come on in here. We're gonna drink some cognac. We're gonna just sit around this record player, listen to some old time songs, and do it." In the third room, I don't think we've gotten to it. Honestly, I've only gotten 2 types of songs so far. Maybe the third room is the upbeat room. It has the only window. It has the
it's got
only
a
window. It's the sunny one.
well. Let's see what anecdotes and anecdotes in B sharp has for us.
And if chewing gum is chewed, the chewer is pursued, and the smoker is pursued, and the Plaza Hotel without your wrist around antidotes and those votes. Shots
I keep thinking people are behind me because the people talking track in the back of the room. You hear that? Like people talking and shouting in the back of the room in the song.
Oh yeah.
You gotta listen closely. Okay. Oh, okay. I like the feel of that one. So Mark, when he said that he had a concept for this, the the producer, Steve Hitchcock, said he was trying to explain it to someone, and he explained it to someone like by comparing it to an author or something that he watched, and like I guess the person was like, oh, Mark is making a concept album that's like a Marshall, and it's based on this author. And then Mark's like, fuck that. It's not about that at all. He's fucking up my shit. Like he's like, it's not about that at all. That's not my concept. Like he wouldn't elaborate on it either. But he was just like, it's not that. It's not what he said. Which is just like
I won't tell you, but it's not that. You're
it's
wrong.
not that at all. That's why he's fucking it up for me. Oh man. That's the end of the second side. And that what do you feel about that one?
A little bluesy. Sounded good, pretty good musically. I thought
Yeah.
Mark was carrying most of the song with his vocals. Lyrics were a little bit to be desired, but
I did notice he brought back some lyrics from the previous track, which was, "If chewing gum is chewed, the truant is pursued, and the smoker is bestewed in the Plaza Hotel with an army of aristo-men," and aristocratic men, maybe. But he's bringing back some of the words, and that's not. I mean, that's good for the concept to
yeah,
tie it across multiple songs, but
so
and
that's
anecdotes too.
and
He's
so
bringing back.
the chewing gum is chewed is from a Marx Brothers from Duck Soup.
Okay.
It's just a line.
Comedy.
Yeah, from them. If chewing gum is chewed, the chewer is pursued.
Okay. So yeah, that all right. So we're getting into side three. Side C, side three,
Sides.
whatever we want to do. I'm looking forward kind of to side four the most, but we got one side left. We got a handful of tracks. Let's get into the early life of the crying Marshal. All right, we're into the off the wall side with the early life of crying Marshal. What's that about?
Just some fun noises.
Little plucks
Little
on the
plucks.
strings?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we're into like the Beatles visited India sort of stage of Mark's life here.
I like this. It's only 51 seconds long, and I wish they had a couple more of these peppered in. Maybe on the other sides, but maybe, as little transition tracks, but I kind of like that. It's not too long. It's not really taking you any place, but it's kind of just rebalancing you before you go into the next track, which is the actual crying Marshal. So let's get into the crying Marshal. Early life was short. He grew up quick.
Marshal left town over 60 times, mainly for this fashion exhibition. On the chin, pulled in behind you. He said, so ow, so ow.
Whoa, that one had me bobbing my head at least, and that had me like, moving around a little bit. The Crying Marshal. His early life was 51 seconds, but the 4.5 minutes of the Crying Marshal, it doesn't sound like he's crying, but it's hitting on all the topics that Mark loves. The Marshal left town over 16 times, mainly for the fashion exhibition. Mark likes going to the fashion exhibition with his characters. Pulled in behind you. He's dead to me, he said. So am I. And then like a death, but then characters that are dead or like have come back or are traveling through the time and the dimensions. So it's got all the components of a Marky Smith signature lyrics, and yeah, it's good. And also I think it has some of the most, you could almost say, fall guitar solos. There's actually guitar riffage in there.
Morrissey Onions 06 says it's one of his favorite fall tracks. I don't agree with you, mate, but
Morrissey Onions.
Morris Onions.
Oh, I wanted to Morrissey
Onions. It would have been better.
Okay.
Mark says about this to the outsider. He's just so who or what is the Crying Marshal? He's just a figure to link it together. The idea started when I did the track The Crying Marshal with these two blokes called the Filthy Three. One of them is Jason Barron. So I guess we'd have to find out who the Filthy Three are. Oh. They had a song and they didn't have any lyrics for it. That song came from that, throwing ideas around. I thought it would be good to do this as a story of his life. A themed LP with a thread running through it. It's such an unhip thing to do, but I do want to continue and develop it. Maybe a 5-sided thing next. The Return of the Marshal.
So even he is explicitly saying he thinks that doing concept albums is unhip. So that kind of explains it for me, that he never really considered it to be a cool thing. So why do it? And now he's accidentally doing it, or maybe after the fact saying that it is a theme, even though this is the first instance where we're kind of getting the Marshal on this last side of the album, his story, his lineage, his struggles. So yeah, it's Marshal with one L, even though it's the Marshal LP with 2 L's. So
yeah, they kind of comment on that. The Marshal is spelled with 2 L's in the title, Marshal Suite, but then in their name, yeah, I don't know. Basically, he wants it to be a marshal, like a sheriff, but they spell it different.
Marshal in the Rain, yeah, Sheriff in the Rain, Marshal in the Rain, yeah. So he's got the character. It's for you to decide what the through line is, which is good. And then I almost wonder that if the next song is going to be connected too, because it's like the birthday song. So maybe the birthday in the Marshal's life. Should we just get into it?
Let's go.
Birthday song.
And oh, my darling, there is another side. You never say. Another side, Well, no, darling, you know, it's there on the right. I'm pointing to it now. Oh, your fragrance drag, it conveys me to the country, and it's this. Your birthday, as if by flight, behold, I am sat in a leafy, winding spiral of lanes, clad stones, tucked up with pebbles.
I don't think you can play the birthday song. I'm pretty sure it's one of like the most copyrighted songs. That's why it's never ever sung on TV. It's always some like alternative version of it.
Yeah. So this is going to be completely fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Until 2016, the Happy Birthday to You is public domain. So you can do it now.
Yeah. Well after the fact for this album's sake. And it's for the best. I don't really want to hear Mark saying happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Wow. Now that's interesting. That is an interesting track.
Yeah, I mean, I like the openness, the weirdness. That was good.
It's ambient. It's something you don't hear the fall doing often. You get some instances in the mid 90s that's kind of going towards this, but this is really musically really good. And then lyrically, it's also really good. So it's really hidden both of those through lines really well. And I'm just going to read the lyrics that he sings here, and because it is really intriguing. And though, my darling, there is a side of you that you never see, another side. And no, darling, you know it's there, on the right. I'm pointing to it now. While your fragrance drags, it conveys me to the country. And is this your birthday? As if by flight, behold, I am set in a leafy, winding spiral ablaze, clad stones, stacking up with pebbles, rumbling, trying to, like you, navigate without pains. In dreams, I stumble towards you, knees knocked, as you evaporate. Though I am teed up, I am in the next room with you always. Steve, what is going on with this sentiment?
So Julia wrote this as an instrumental for her sister's birthday and gave it to her on a CD as a present.
Oh,
Mark always liked it, and then she asked him to write her a love poem.
wow. It's a love poem, but it's also a poem of longing and almost like reaching into the ether and something not there.
Which is fantastic for a love poem. I mean, like, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah.
the sappy drippy bullshit is taken away, and like
Yeah.
while
In
your fragrance drags. Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yes. Yeah. In I'm sat in a leafy winding spiral ablaze, right? It's like you're getting engulfed in this heat of emotion, of love or longing or whatever it is. Putting it in the context of if he's writing it for Julia to her sister, like he could be too, right? Like they're not together, but it's it's the sentiment of caring for you even though I'm not with you. I am in the next room with you always. The last line is kind of like getting towards that sweet kind of concept that I was talking about earlier, where it's just like I'm next door, even though we're far apart. I'm just next door, right? I want you to feel like I'm close, even though I'm not.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel close to you.
it brings a side of Mark to the forefront that like you hear and it like no existed. I mean, he was caring and kind and like pen pal to all these people and like had these relationships that were
Mm,
that were deeper, but like on the surface, he always just seemed to want to be the asshole. And this kind of shatters the glass and like takes you into the man a little bit more than what
mm,
you're used to seeing.
yeah, yeah, that's right. And the backstory that you brought up is also says a lot too. It's that Julie is obviously writing songs all the time and making songs. And even when she got into the band, it wasn't long before Mark was like, "We're gonna do your songs now," you know? And then she went and told the band, Mark said we're only doing my songs now. And then so she always had this, and he was always listening to the things she was coming up with, which is like the main takeaway I take from this, where he always knew like she can do this, which is not a thing that I have heard maybe being a fall thing up until this point. But now maybe I'm in the perfect spot where it's like it doesn't need to be always a quote unquote fall sound to be on a fall record. And he's kind of expanding his own, maybe branching out.
Yeah,
Uh,
I do kind of like that on this backside where he seems to be experimenting more with the electronic sound and like not that they didn't do a lot of it, but it seems to be his own kind of creations at this point
mm,
versus just collaboration sort of sounds like okay you bring that sound and I'll just add what I got like it seems like
yeah.
he's more invested in some of that.
Yeah, I think that's right. And also, I gotta say, out of all the tracks, I am most interested in the ones that we've heard so far that are the new kind of um writing credit stated collaborations that are new. And this one is like a Nagel first and then Smith song. And the other ones that I liked were the ones that were incorporating the new band members, which is the Lethem and Head tracks are were a little bit more interesting. So I think just the new blood on some of them it goes to a place that is more intriguing, especially after listening to so much, that we have that's come before this. So, that being said, let's go into another one that's a new writing credit, which is, Smith, Marsden, and Nagel song called Mad Men Eng Dong, and that's mad.men dash eng dot dong.
I feel like he's knocking on websites or something there.
That's what I'm like. It's like he downloaded this. It's like he downloaded this track from some fucking black
Yeah,
dark web.
from Napster.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm gonna use this.
Well, man, 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 man. Man, you and this dog has lost the plot. Time sick, lost the plot. Gone to the rock wise, rock not a lot. The story yellow card, the money's in the bank. They lay arm on there. Plaques on it. Echo staff. By banking staff, the mad English.
I don't see why they didn't use this as a theme song for Mad Men the show.
It kind of starts like that, doesn't it? A guy falling in a black suit. from a building. It would be a great music video for this one. Proto Mad Men style. All right. The experimental, cool. I like it. I like it. The is there is there anything you know about the lyric? He says the story, yellow card. Like he gave a yellow card to the story. The money's in the bank. They lay on Monday. Platonic Air Corps staff by banking staff. The Mad English Dogmen. No, we know that Mark likes to write about banking, debt, um, the banking dynamic, right, between the clientele and the banks themselves, the authoritative state, the holding of the power, the holding of the money, that might be rightfully in the hands of someone else. This is kind of cool. They octave down the vocals at the end. There's an
Yeah,
interesting outro.
yeah. So the outro is from. It's probably they say it's a piece of library music called the Electromind, which they imagine they taped or sampled from a episode of a show called The Prisoner, called The General.
I understand why they did that because that's probably my favorite part of the track.
Huh.
It's like the last. It's not even like what, like 15 seconds, but it's it's good. I wish they almost used that as the bed, but I'm also going off of my feel of the last song of the birthday song, which was more of that softness. And then the last line is to Saxon drumming jazz FM. Right? What that
So
is?
yeah, there was a Manchester radio station called the Jazz FM. So there maybe it's there.
Yeah, it was so is that like the bankers listening to that? And also I could picture them listening to that as like lobby music in the bank, like little jazz music. It's not, no one's getting upset about that, right? Make people calm when they're dealing with like overdrawn accounts or whatever. Oh yeah. Won't call the man for you is all. Then use your soul with fate. Man, another good line. I don't know he's getting back. Gone to the Rottweilers, but not a lot. Gone to the Rottweilers, but not a lot is just slightly getting torn apart.
So it
Your
says
debt,
rot, not a lot. Um,
rot, not a lot. Ooh, I actually like that a little bit. Huh. Yeah, it's cool. I kind of like how this album is wrapping up.
yeah, I like that they didn't completely blast you out from the slow love track to next, which is
Yes.
pretty common for them, where you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, that totally took that feeling away from me.
Yeah. It does have a nice transition to it towards the end. And then we're going to wrap up with the last track, which we get a credit on here from a non-present band member. Simon Wollstonecroft is credited on here with Julia Nagel and Marky Smith. And this track is called On My Own.
I've heard this before.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, maybe we didn't keep this album totally blind to us. No, it's something unique, maybe. See, I'm no longer upset when a song that I think is going somewhere doesn't go anywhere with the fall. And this is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, a great use of everybody but myself. Coming from Levitate, I mean, it's a totally different song, but it carries its own awesomeness.
Yeah. Cool lyrics, and it's just repetitive, but then it also gives me the vibe of the Dave Bush era of the
Yeah,
band, where it's like this could have been, honestly, I think that Dave Bush, and this is why maybe Funky Side gets a credit, is I could hear Dave Bush with Dave Bush programming with a Funky Side drum beat on this would be really, really um fitting any of those albums. But I like it here, and as a final track, I got no complaints about this.
yeah, yeah. The jazzy start to it with kind of the
Mhm,
upbeat piano, like it's cool. But
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, he's even calling in some of the madmen in the last track in the lyrics here. Sad in the street, all of the advertisements, walk around the corner, padded junk mail and bills in a big pile, delay. The blue street is looking good on my way. Like he could have like his bag full of mail that he just picked up, um, and it's like bills and it's like all the thing, and it kind of makes sense at this point in their career with all the backstory of like overdue tax bills that they agreed that they would pay off with like future royalties and income from the band, that he's walking around with all this stuff and and him having that in his possession, but then looking around and then the blue street, which is like kind of like the dusk, right? The nighttime on the way to the pub or wherever he's going is actually the comfort for him because he's like, this is reality. The debt, all of that stuff that's been alluded to is not the important part. It's really about being in the environment that is making me kind of aware of real things that are going on that I can tap into and I can use for my own musical,
yeah.
intuition.
And just the reality, right? Like this is real, and the rest of it is
Hmm.
just BS. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the Marshall Suite. First
Well,
time.
you didn't flip it on to side 4, and we didn't
Yeah,
listen
let's
to
listen. Yeah, let's listen to a little bit of side 4, everyone.
Tom Regazzi. Yeah, your buddy Tom Regazzi.
Tom Raggy come down off the hill. Tom Raggy come down off the hill. Tom Raggy come down off the hill. Tom Raggy goes down the hill. Come down off the hill. Tom Raggy goes down the hill. Tom Raggy. Tom Raggy goes down the hill. Suckers navigate the valley. Give her to who she wants. Give her to who she wants. Don't end up with the ragazzi. Tom Raggy. insurance system. Some raggy come up the hill. Some raggy go down the hill. Circumnavigate the valley. Some raggy. She's much sharper than you. Some raggy come down the hill. You gotta circumnavigate the valley. Some raggy come up the hill. She's much sharper. Give her to give her to give her to insurance system. Some raggy come down off the hill. Gotta damn it, circumnavigate the valley. Some raggy come down off the hill.
The only note annotated Fall has for it is musically, this is somewhat of a retread of anecdotes and anecdotes in B sharp. Lyrically, there's not a hell of a lot going on here. All told, the song is basically a groove.
Yeah, we were about to just like let you all listen to the whole fourth side of the Marshall suite, which would have been about 20 minutes of silence, and then the Tom Ragazzi track, which is it's got somewhat of a reggae beat though.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally reggae, right?
And
yeah.
I don't really connect it to any of the previous tracks. It's interesting that they say it is. It just has a different feel to it. Tom Ragazzi, little bonus cut for you guys as we head out of the Marshall Suite, 1999. Steve, we'll pop the tab. What are you feeling? First listen, it's kind of a hard, way to gauge it on a first listen, because we know that the fall albums at minimum are going to grow at least a little bit more, right? It's just a fair assessment, like going through the shit. What are we 20 albums in? What are you feeling for this album?
Oh boy. 1, 2,
Counting the pints.
3, well, 5. I mean, I'm at 5 easy. I'll probably add a 7. We'll go 7 pints. We'll split it down.
Okay.
6
okay.
maybe. 6 maybe. I don't know.
Okay. No, it's all.
I'm counting the ones.
Good.
I'm counting the ones I like.
There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong
yeah,
answer.
but a consummate professional. I can't be off.
Okay.
It has to be an exact number.
Statistically within the
Within
the middle,
margin.
right?
Yeah.
I like that. I honestly I'm giving this. There's some on here that I'm going to be listening to a hell of a lot. Obviously, going to be giving this album a lot more spins after today, but I got to give this a solid 5. And I think the solid 5 pints actually fits probably the average of the fall communities um gauge of this, because I know a lot of people that really like this album. And then I know a lot of people that are kind of like, this is kind of the change up that was not expected, warranted, or wanted by the community of fall heads. And I get both sides. I get both sides. I'm just kind of a little bit maybe more leaning towards the positive side, and maybe towards even the Six Pints, because uh, it is in the domain of the new stuff. It is going to a place that is at least intriguing. I wish there were way less of the covers. A 10-track album without the covers, I think we're talking, I'm getting up there with you in your pint rating. I'll probably be right next to you if we got rid of the covers.
Eh, eh,
There's so
Yeah,
much.
I
Yeah.
think that's where we land at 6. I mean, again, we gotta play it. I had the idea of coming back and giving our pint rating after we've given it a good spin through.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
And
Give it a little second.
see how we feel. Secondary glance. I mean, because like you said, every fall album takes a while to dissect.
Mhm.
Um, I think musically, the new folks, they're holding their own. There's
Yeah.
nothing off-putting by any of it. I don't know if any of it's earth-shattering where you're like, wow, they really are bringing more than what was there. But it's not worse.
No, and it's interesting to put this in the context of the discography where we just had Levitate, which was really intriguing. And this one had songs that were very much like, even the first track, I'm like, is this a Blur kind of song?
Yeah.
Is this a song that they're trying to get, like Steve Hitchcock trying to get them radio play, which I'm not against that, but it just does, for an album, it doesn't really do it for me, especially when I'm expecting the fall to always push the boundaries. So it's really, I don't know. I'm happily surprised. I'm intrigued by what is coming up, more so after this, so that I can put this one in context now that we've listened
Yeah.
to it. I think it's all good.
I think side 3 really brought it around for me.
Mm, mm,
I was like, okay, this is fine.
yeah.
I wouldn't have been super interested in it, but I think side 3 was interesting enough where the concept isn't necessarily there, but at least it was something extra on the back end.
Yeah. See, I'm on that side too, being I was excited about his concept. It was like, it's like an opening up of like going towards the weirdness, and he never did. He never really did it. But then I gotta say, but the standout tracks, Shake Off, uh, Jung Nev's Anecdotes, and then the birthday song, like, and they're each on a different side. So that tells me something too, where it's like there is something going on there where you're not going to be skipping any of the sides. You just have to do it. And that's half the fun of the fall, which is, that there's tracks that could be cut out, but when you listen to the tracks that you think should be just like, maybe not the necessity, you do eventually appreciate them, or you just appreciate that they're there to give you the space before another track that you're totally in love with and digging. If you guys like that, we had fun, but I don't know if that's fun for anyone else. But either way, that was a good go around for 1999. We are the fall.
We are the best.